morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you wherever you are listening from across the world. You are tuned into the Mr. Freemason channel for another live, and welcome to you all. I hope you're all doing very fine on this lovely summer's day. You might have to bear with me today. I am feeling a bit under the weather, to be honest with you, but I don't think it's a cold because it might reflect the fact that I look like an Oreo at the minute. So that could be possibly why. So today is the date of Friday the 16th of May 2025. Here at the channel we like to discover Numerology Astrology. We take a look at Freemasonry, rituals, hidden knowledge, and also with regards to crime and news articles and how we decode the matrix using Numerology Astrology. So I'd like to welcome you all. So we'll check and see who's joining us for the live stream. So we have Wiz and Exotic Doe. We also have Dusky and Wonder Woman versus Hulk. So thank you all for joining me. In this live stream, we will be covering Keir Starmer, Pakistan and India, taking a look at the number 11 and how it relates to crime and how it associates to the news. So a big shout out, first of all, to Wiz, because Wiz has been absolutely spot on lately. And it was actually Wiz that dropped me a note with regards to the news of Keir Starmer when it first dropped. So thank you, Wiz. Your skills are improving week by week. You're even giving me a bit of a run for my money lately, so I best watch out. But top marks for you. Thank you very much for that. There's a few more that I found, and we'll go over them in the live stream, plus the ones also that you added, Wiz. So thanks very much for that. So if you joined us in the last live stream, we took a look at Virginia Giuffre and also Mark Carney, who is the Canadian president at the moment. We had a look at what happened with regards to Virginia Giuffre and how she passed in a tragic accident and how Numerology Astrology applied to her. Now, when we took a look at her, we found out that she was actually born in a pig energy, which is the opposite sign to this year, which is the sign of the snake. Mark Carney, we also found out, was actually born in the year of the snake, and in his own year of the snake is now in control of Canada, which just so happens to be a pig country. So they're just a couple of things to bear in mind. And the reason that we say that is because in the past week to 2 weeks, there's also been further news surrounding Pakistan and India. Now, if you tuned into the live stream before the Virginia Giuffre one, we covered the UK and England. We discovered that the United Kingdom was actually founded in 1717, which is also a pig year, and England itself was founded in 927 AD, which also happens to be a pig year. So it will give you an understanding as to why things are happening with certain countries in the world at this moment in time this year, because they all tend to fall under the pig energy, which is the enemy sign of the snake. So as I said, today is Friday the 16th of May. 1 and 6 gives us a number of 7 in Numerology Astrology. 7th letter of the alphabet is G. The genius starts with G. There are many famous people who have been born under the 7 energy who are highly intelligent. People who are born under 7 energy are highly intellectual and succeed levels above many other people. You don't have to give them too many clues, to be honest with you, to fix the whole puzzle, whereas others will struggle. Unfortunately, due to the intelligence and the high level, the genius, they struggle to socialize and mingle into groups because of the fact of their intelligence is so high. So these people tend to be lone wolves or work on their own timescale and basis and in their own company. They don't tend to do very well in groups, but they exceed and excel on their own. I'll give an example. One of my brothers was born on the 25th, and he's a 7, and he's very much into music, and there just happens to be 7 keys on a piano from A to G. Michael Jackson I believe, was also born on the 25th of June, or he passed on the 25th of June, because I covered that in a short video as well that related to Stephen Hawking. So also today is a life path lesson of number 3. And the way that we got to the number 3 is when we take the 1 and the 6 and the 5, which is May, add them together, plus the 2, plus the 2, plus the 5. And that gives us 21, and 2 plus 1 equals number 3, which gives us today a life path lesson of number 3. People born under life path lessons of number 3 are associated with the 3rd letter of the alphabet. This is C, that also stands for comedian, or casualties, or crime, which you'll find the number 3 comes up time and time again. So those of you who are new here, will break down and run through the usual numbers that we will find when it comes to decoding the matrix and using numerology astrology. These numbers, if you aren't familiar with them by now, they are 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, and number 19, 22, 23, and last of all, the master number of 33. So, like I've just explained, we had the conflict between Pakistan and India. These countries were founded after the Second World War. These were founded in 1947, when I believe the British Empire left them as 2 separate countries. When the British Empire actually invaded or took control as part of the British Empire, it was only 1 country when they first took over and left it into 2 states, which is why that nationality I'm not very happy with England, so to speak, because of the state that they left it in. It's just very strange that Pakistan and India were founded in 1947, which is a peak energy year, the same as what the UK and England is. So it starts to make you wonder whether these were done on purpose to coincide with the founding of the UK and also England. And I'm sure, as it is a pig year, there'll be many other countries that will also come up in the news that we will then discover were founded in pig years. So we're going to turn our attention in a minute to Keir Starmer and what happened with him with regards to the fire attacks, should we say. We just have to be careful of our words on YouTube. Okay, so for Keir Starmer, we have to go back to the 12th of May 2025. 12 in numerology gives us 1 plus 2 equals the 3, the number of the criminal. C also stands for charges, convicted, court, and other words associated with criminal behaviour, such as criminal damage. Now, we were told that the call was made, and this is shout out to you, Wiz, that the call was actually made at 11 minutes past 1. The actual attack itself happened at 10 minutes past 1, so the call was actually made 1 minute afterwards. So we're going to look at 10 minutes past 1 and 11 minutes past 1 to begin with. So with the number 1, the first letter of the alphabet, being A. So if we take the time of 10 minutes past 1, we'll take 1 o'clock, which is the first letter being A. A obviously stands for the word you'd associate with fire that begins with A, and also 10 minutes past. So we will drop the 0 as we normally do in numerology, because zeros carry absolutely no energy and no vibration or purpose. So you're left with another 1. And the first letter of the alphabet being A again, which stands for attack. So if we move on then to 11 minutes past 1, this gives us yet again a number 1 at the beginning. The first letter of the alphabet is A. This is when the alert was raised, and alert also begins with A. There was also 11 minutes past the 1, and the 11th letter of the alphabet is K. But we'll go down and break down the letter K and the number 11 in a minute once we go back over the last time. And the last time that was given was 1:33. And this is when the fire brigade attended. And attended also starts with A. 33 would represent the influencer, or somebody turning up to take control and in charge. Fire station and fire brigade also have 11 letters. If we look at the actual date, which it happened on, which was the 12th of May 2025, and we break this down into Numerology and Astrology, like I said, the 12th gives us a day of 3, and then we add this to May, which will be the 5th, as it's the 5th month, plus the 2, plus the 2, plus the 5, which is obviously the 9, and add the 5 and the 3 together. This gives you 17, and in numerology we single them down every single time by adding them together. So 1 plus 7 gives us the number 8, and 8 represents money and karma. And with the news that's come out and transpired recently that this person who was responsible for this was of Ukraine nationality, I have raised the question to some of the viewers that Keir Starmer might actually know this person on an individual basis. It also makes me raise an eyebrow that money and karma is involved, as it's a 17-day, which is an 8-day, that this could possibly be an alleged insurance job. It just seems surprising that Keir Starmer, who's donated so much money from the UK to Ukraine, that would then have a Ukraine national want to retaliate. So with regards to the number 11, I've said the 11th letter of the alphabet is K. The reason that this number is very important, people born under 11 life path energies are leaders, natural born leaders. They're normally very charismatic and got the gift of the gab, so to speak. Another word that begins with K and is associated with crime is when somebody takes somebody else's life, and the name for this person would be called this, and it begins with K. The reason that I say that is I will refer to another case after Keir Starmer's. So this also happened in Kentish Town, and Kentish Town also starts with K. Keir Starmer also starts with K. But just before I get a bit ahead of myself, just cast back a bit. Okay, so Keir Starmer was born on the 2nd of September, and he was born in 1978. Sorry, no, he wasn't. I'll correct myself. He was born on September the 2nd, and he was born in 1962. Sorry. So he was born under a tiger year. And I believe, if I remember rightly, one of the viewers is born under a tiger. I'm not going to say which one it is, but someone made me aware they were born under tiger energy and asked about that, because I mentioned in a previous stream before, my daughter's also born under tiger energy. Tigers are very outspoken. They can be quite protective and defend the family. Obviously, Keir Starmer was in the Crown Prosecution Service, and his job and role was to obviously protect, which is why he worked for prosecution. So tigers can be very outspoken. So when you take his date of birth, which is the 2nd of September 1962, and we put that all together in Numerology Astrology, like I've explained how to do, you end up coming to the number 29. Now you take 2 and you add that together with the 9, and that gives you a life path lesson of number 11. So you have Keir Starmer, whose name begins with K. The 11th letter is also K. There's a life path lesson of number 11? And do you think that Keir Starmer's parents know numerology? Of course they do. So that's just an example of how the number 11 relates. Now, I said that there's also another news article that incorporated the number 11, and that was Axel Rudabakana, who also was discovered to be somebody who was labelled or found guilty of someone that takes somebody else's life, and that word also begins with K. I believe that the actual offence that happened in Southport was on the 29th, and 2 plus 9 yet again equals the number 11. Which brings us on to the Kardashians and the number 11. Now, a lot of people might not know this, but it is alleged that this family are very intertwined with the Witches of the Eastern Star. I've covered this on a previous live stream before as well, so if you'd like to go back, and that's in the Katy Perry video, I believe. So if you wanted to go back and take a look at the Kardashians and also the number 11 and how that kind of incorporates into numerology astrology. But we're going to go over with regards to the number 11, and we won't touch on the Witches of the Eastern Stars. We've covered that already. If you've seen any photos of inside the Kardashians' home, it's actually a black and white checkered floorboard, and most of their home is also decorated in black and white, which is why you will find most of them will wear black clothing, such as in the photo you're shown before you. And just to break down how the number 11 works with the Kardashians, like I've stated, the 11th letter of the alphabet is K. Their surname is Kardashian and starts with K. Now you have all the female members. So you have Kendall. Kendall begins with K. Kim begins with K. Chloe begins with K. Courtney begins with K. Kris, the mother, also begins with K. Kylie begins with K. And even Bruce Jenner, the dad, who had a transformation and a change, then changed his name to Caitlyn Jenner, which also begins with a K. Now it goes even more further in depth, and the number of 11 is also associated with the feeling of emotion, which is why you'll find things in news and crime incorporate the number 11 somewhere. This can also be shown with the Kardashians and Kim Kardashian's choice of husbands. Now, the first husband she married was an NBA basketball player. I can't remember what his surname was, but his first name was also Chris, and that began with K. She then divorced him and married her second husband, who was Kanye West, and Kanye also begins with K. So, are there any other questions that anybody would like to ask surrounding the number 11, the letter K, or anything to add surrounding the Keir Starmer story? So has anybody else spotted or noticed anything surrounding numerology astrology in the news or any numbers? And yes, you're right, Wiz. Keir Starmer is an absolutely disgraceful tiger. He's selling out this country beyond belief. But we know who's in control of Ukraine and who's behind Ukraine, because you can't spell Ukraine without spelling UK. The same as you can't spell Jerusalem without spelling USA. So they show you in plain sight, and this is how they hide words within other words, to give clues and indications to the other people who are aware of this to communicate. The same as what they do with symbolism, numbers and letters. So today is only a quick live stream. I just wanted to bring you them details surrounding Keir Starmer's attack, the number 11, and exactly what is going on with India and Pakistan at the moment, and why things are happening with these countries such as the UK, Pakistan and India. Also Canada is another one to watch out for. I don't think Mark Carney is going to do Canada any justice at all. If anything, I have a funny feeling he's going to have the same effect as what Keir Starmer is having on the UK. If you had a leader who was born under pig energy, in charge of a pig country, things would work better. But still, in an enemy year of a snake, it doesn't always guarantee things are going to end well. Exotic Dollars put Keir is better than Richard Tice or Farage. To be honest with you, they're all on the same side. They all work for the establishment. They're all multi-millionaires, if not billionaires. It's just a sad shame and state of affairs that you can't take people from just normal working class backgrounds who've got a proven track record of running successful businesses. You can kind of step up and lead the way, so to speak. But only time will tell. And as it's 2025 in Year of the Snake, and snake years are known for shredding their skin, there's going to be lots of change with regards to the countries that I've mentioned. So expect to see a lot of changeover of hands, or different people taking control of different parts of society. With regards to a mention to Nigel Farage, Exotic Doll, is Nigel Farage was actually born under dragon energy, and last year was a dragon year. They had the election as well. I don't know if you've noticed or you got to see the clip of Donald Trump when he invited Nigel Farage to go to America. And during the conference, he got Nigel Farage to stand up, and he said something that was quite interesting. He said, "It's very strange in the UK, even when you win, you don't." And that kind of made me think that I was kind of on the right track with guessing who was going to be elected. But we know that these are all kind of pre-decided. There's people behind the scenes. There's a person called Dougie Smith that nobody would have heard of, but he's kind of behind the scenes of number 10, so to speak. So any prime minister, their time is chosen, how long their career will last and how long they will be prime minister for. And they also make the decision of when their career will end and the changeover of prime minister will happen, or there will be an extension of their career. So the mirage and the illusion that these people are multi-billionaires would give people like us any kind of power is all part of the veil, really. Oh, thanks, Wiz. I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm just a little bit feeling a little bit like a Krispy Kreme. I just have to be careful when I move about because we're quite burnt, I think, and I'm like a packet of Kellogg's Rice Krispies. I'm going snap, crackle, and pop at the minute. So yeah, I do feel a bit burnt, but I suppose that's what you get for sitting in the sunshine. Yeah, they're all the same. They all follow the same culture and beliefs, because we know that they don't take you unless you do. They certainly won't take Christians because they believe in a idol such as Jesus. Muslims have an idol worship as the Prophet Muhammad. So they don't worship an idol, as in that sense. They worship a God, and the God that they worship is not God spelt with a capital G, they're spelt with lowercase g's, because there's two types of spellings of God that refer to two types of God. And on that note, I'm going to wrap up the live stream. You've been a brilliant audience. Thank you very much for being part of the community and joining me here. Your input is always valid, as always. Unless we get any ultra breaking news or any more catastrophic events, which we keep our fingers crossed that we don't, because things are difficult enough as it is at the minute, and we're kind of having to navigate a country here in the UK that is facing its enemy year at the minute. So it's kind of trying to make the best of a bad situation. As always, I'll mention, if you want to learn more about numerology, astrology, and the lives that we cover here in the information, the book available, Breaking the Matrix, Numerology Astrology, is available at Amazon now. In the meantime, if anybody else has any suggestions of topics that you'd like to cover in future live streams, then please do drop them down in the comment section afterwards or on any of the videos. I will see them at some point and I will do a video on them. We did one with, I think it was Exotic Doll, requested that we looked at, I think it was Keir Starmer, oh sorry, it was Virginia Frey, wasn't it, and Mark Carney you asked for, which we did in the last previous. So yeah, if you have any suggestions or topics that you'd like to cover, then please by all means drop them in the comment section and I will take you up on the offer. Anyway, on that note, you've been absolutely awesome. I've been Mr. Freemason as always. Until next time, I'm out of here.